And here with us now, we have Michael Blake, a Democrat running to be the next mayor of New York City. He is also a former New York State Assemblyman and former vice chair of the Democratic National Committee. Michael, welcome. Appreciate you being here. And I know that you've called the subway case unthinkable. You have said that the suspect should be held accountable to the fullest extent of the law. Are you satisfied with the events of today with the charges as they stand?
Thank you, and grateful to be with you all again. Certainly, I'm grateful of what we've seen today. Accountability has happened for an absolutely heinous crime that occurred. When you think that a woman and any person is on a train and is burned alive, and someone does the even more so unthinkable, watching them burn to death, that person needs to be held to the fullest extent to the law. We recognize that we also have to ensure that we're addressing the consistent mental health crises that are happening in our city right now at the same time. That's the reason why 988 was established. And we should find more ways to ensure that we're addressing these crises and these challenges consistently. But let's also be very clear. We have to have public safety and public housing and public subways and public schools all work at the same time. And the only way that they can is by ensuring that we are safe in all of those places.
Yeah, what is staying on your mind about this specific case? Because we hear Laura Ingle describing this horrific video. Have you seen the video yourself? And also being able to see the suspect fanning the flames, standing there, only increasing this inferno that enshrouded this woman.
I've watched it 3 times. I think it's important that if you are running to be mayor of the largest city in our country and potentially the greatest impact of the world, that you have to be focused on these issues. And so it's unthinkable what happened there. It's also unthinkable that we had so many people, unfortunately, who watched what occurred and nothing was responded to, where life was lost that should not have been lost at all. So we have to make sure that
Michael,
we're being responsible.
let me ask you, what should those passerbys have done? What should the people who were there have done?
Well, I mean, look, first and foremost, we have to find the authorities faster and have them move quickly. Make sure that the individual there is held to account. Finding ways that we actually can make sure that support was happening. It seemed from one of the videos that we saw that there was an extended period of time where the woman unfortunately was burning without help occurring. And so, look, it's hard for any of us to know what to do in that moment. It's an emergency, it's a crisis, no question about that. But we as New Yorkers, we as humanitarians, we as a people have to find ways to respond quickly. I do want to make sure we acknowledge, though, that law enforcement that did respond put themselves in harm's way and understood that they had to go protect someone and find a way without knowing all the information. And so we have to have that balancing act. I did that in the assembly. I did that as a White House aide. I will do that as the next mayor of New York City, of being responsible and accountable and attentive to the issues of what's happening for our New York City residents. We have to feel safe in our subways. We have to feel safe in our communities. We have to feel safe, full stop.
Yeah, we have to feel safe. And I know you've noted that New Yorkers are losing confidence. And we're looking at the new NYPD data. 11 people were killed in the city's mass transit system this year. That is twice the number of homicides as last year. We do want to note transit crime is slightly down overall. Do you feel safe using public transit in New York City? What would you tell people who do not?
I definitely do feel safe. Look, I'm a kid from Creston and Burnside in the Bronx, so I would take the 4 train or the D train regularly. Whether you're taking the train or taking the bus, I definitely feel safe. But we have to make sure that too many don't. And that's an indication that something has to change. Let's be very clear. We have a mayor whose entire approach of running for office was to be the law and order mayor, to keep people safe. And that's the complete opposite of what people feel right now. Do you actually feel safe in New York City? The answer is no for most people. And when you have a mayor in Eric Adams, where not only do people not feel safe, but they're watching indictments and crimes surround his entire leadership administration, and they don't see any sense of urgency. It's the reason why in late October, only 12% of New Yorkers said they would reelect this man. I am running on a vision called Tomorrow Begins Today, where you can have a change from this vision that's existing right now from Eric Adams. And so if you understand that we can address cost of living, affordability, have public safety, have public schools, have all these things work at the same time, and you want change, my name is Michael Blake, and I'm asking for your vote to be the next mayor of New York City. our entire platform around public safety, around economic opportunities, around affordability, around how do we win is found at blakefornyc.com. And it's core around this. You do not have to decide between having public safety and criminal justice and accountability. You don't have to decide between having a quality
I
job
hear
and
that.
better wages. And you should not have to decide between having quality public transportation.